This film tells the story of a 12-year-old boy named Artemis Fowl Jr., who has always heard fairy tales from his father, Artemis Fowl Sr. As a genius child, Artemis Fowl Jr. does not believe in the existence of fairies. In fact, he is so brilliant that he barely needs formal schooling. At the age of 7, he defeated the European chess champion, Evan Rasagi, in just 5 moves. At 9, he won an architecture competition by designing the Dublin Opera House. At 10, he managed to clone a goat and named it Bruce. His choices may seem odd, but he is undeniably extraordinary. Of course, Artemis Fowl Jr. is not alone, even though it might sometimes seem that way. There is one thing he truly loves: staying home with his father, Artemis Fowl Sr. Artemis Fowl Sr. deals in rare and antique items, and he trains Artemis Jr. in numerous arts. Artemis Fowl Sr. teaches Artemis Jr. everything he should know about goblins and other magical creatures. Whenever he is not out traveling, he shares his passion with his son. He is determined to teach Artemis Jr. all he can about the fairies, preparing him for a day that would come sooner than anyone could have guessed. At a certain point, Artemis Fowl Sr. leaves. He plans to find that fairy world so often dismissed as mere folklore. But while Artemis Fowl Sr. is on his quest to discover the land of the fairies, he disappears without a trace. The media reports that Artemis Fowl Sr. is suspected to be the mastermind behind some of the largest thefts in the past 10 years. Since Artemis Fowl Jr. is no ordinary boy, he is extremely intelligent. He does not believe what the media says about his father. He intends to find his father by locating the fairy world. Here, Artemis is not alone. He is assisted by Domovoi Butler, his friend, mentor, and bodyguard. He is commonly called Dom. After Artemis Jr. sees the news, a mysterious figure suddenly calls him, claiming to have kidnapped Artemis Fowl Sr. This mysterious individual knows that the Aculos is in the hands of the Fowl family. The kidnapper demands that Artemis Jr. find the Aculos. However, Artemis Jr. does not know where it is. Only Artemis Fowl Sr. does. Artemis Jr. is given 3 days to locate the Aculos, or Artemis Fowl Sr. will be killed. Since Artemis Jr. knows so little about the fairy world, Dom shows him a secret study that Artemis Jr. was not yet supposed to know about. The room is filled with rare items from the fairy world, and clues Artemis Jr. must understand in order to find the Aculos. Within that room, Artemis Jr. also finds his father's journal, which states that the Aculos must be protected and must not fall into the wrong hands. The journal also urges him to believe in fairies. From here, Artemis Jr.'s struggle begins, with protecting the Aculos to bring his father home safely. It turns out that what many people have long dismissed as mere fairy tales is very real. They are as real as humans, living far beneath the Earth's surface. Diverse, strange, and beautiful. Known as Haven City. Officer Holly Short. She is part of the reconnaissance unit responsible for maintaining order and preventing criminal acts in Haven City. Also meet Mulch Diggums, who claims to be a dwarf, though he is a rather unusual one. He is extremely skilled at tunneling and decoding fairy runes. He is currently imprisoned for trespassing and infiltration. The scene then shifts to the mysterious individual who kidnapped Artemis Fowl Sr., Opal Cowboy. Here, Opal commands a subordinate to spy on Commander Root or face death. The fairy commander named Root, usually called Commander Root. Commander Root instructs the fairy security forces to search for the missing Aculos. It is a powerful artifact possessed by the fairy world. Commander Root divides the teams for the search. Among them is a traitor secretly working under Opal Cowboy's orders to spy on Commander Root. After Commander Root finishes speaking, Holly Short approaches the commander to talk about her missing father. Holly has clues about her father's whereabouts. However, Commander Root forbids Holly from searching for him because it is too dangerous. The scene shifts back to Dom, who brings in reinforcements. Someone trustworthy to help protect the Fowl family. This reinforcement is his niece, Juliet Butler, a 12-year-old expert in jiu-jitsu and tactical surveillance. Meanwhile, Artemis Fowl Jr. spends his time searching for the entrance to the fairy world, but so far he has found nothing. Then, after a while, Artemis discovers an image of an ancient oak tree mentioned in his father's journal. That tree is located on the hill of Tara. Artemis is convinced that the gate to the fairy world is hidden there. The scene changes to Foley, the centaur who is behind the encrypted systems concealing the fairy world from surface-dwelling humans. Foley detects a troll escaping from the fairy world. Commander Root assigns Holly the mission to capture this runaway troll. Holly enthusiastically accepts this mission and smoothly completes it. But not long after, Holly Short rebels, wanting to go to the Hill of Terra to search for her missing father. Commander Root prohibits her from going, but Holly insists. Holly sets off alone to the Hill of Terra. On the other side, Artemis Fowl Jr., fully confident that the ancient oak tree at the Hill of Terra is the gateway to their realm, sends Domovoy Butler to take control of that very tree. Then Holly arrives at the tree, only to be greeted by Dom and Artemis. Dom fires a tranquilizer at Holly and kidnaps her, bringing her into Fowl Manor for interrogation. Artemis already knows that fairies can mesmerize humans with direct eye contact. Thus, he provides protective eyewear for everyone in the house. With a calm elegance, Artemis speaks to Officer Holly Short. Holly, who still does not know who Artemis is, threatens that her people will come to rescue her. But that is precisely what Artemis wants. "That's what I was hoping you'd say," he replies. Signs soon appear that fairy forces are approaching Fowl Manor. Artemis intends to negotiate with the fairies. Artemis knows they will not listen to him right away, so he plans to resist them first. The fairies use a time freeze device at the manor so their actions remain unknown to humans. They arrive at the Fowl residence, but this does not frighten Artemis. He remains calm and relaxed. Artemis steps out, accompanied by Dom. Outside, they are greeted by the fairy forces, and Dom fires at them, igniting a battle. The fight ends with Dom deliberately shooting an arrow at the time-freezing device, causing it to malfunction. This confuses and rattles the fairy forces. Artemis then gives Commander Root time to consider his negotiation offer. With no other options, Commander Root agrees to negotiate with this 12-year-old genius. Artemis tells Commander Root to find the Aculos so that Officer Holly Short can be freed. But Commander Root refuses, as the Aculos is very dangerous if it falls into the wrong hands. Moreover, Commander Root does not know its current location. With the negotiations at an impasse, Commander Root plans to break into the manor. Since no fairy can enter the house easily, Commander Root orders Mulch Diggums to infiltrate. Inside the manor, Artemis is speaking with Officer Holly Short. Artemis asks, "Can I trust you?" Holly answers that he must because he has no other choice. Artemis removes his protective glasses, and now they feel somewhat friendlier, knowing that their fathers were once allies. It turns out that Holly's father gave the Aculos to Artemis Fowl Sr. at the Hill of Tara to protect it when it was nearly stolen. But Holly's father was framed by the traitor. Outside, time is running out. The time freeze device is becoming unstable. Mulch, just released from prison on the condition of reduced sentencing if he helps infiltrate the manor, is offered another deal. Mulch demands something impossible, to be recognized as a real dwarf. When that is not granted, Commander Root makes a final offer: freedom from prison if Mulch successfully infiltrates Artemis's home. With great reluctance, Mulch agrees. Mulch uses his tunneling skill to dig into the manor. Artemis, aware of this, remains calm because it is all part of his plan. Artemis lets Mulch enter and open a vault that is supposedly impossible to crack. With his unique abilities, Mulch succeeds in opening the vault. Inside the vault is the Aculos. Opal Cowboy, who has been watching Artemis's every move, orders the traitorous fairy operative to seize it. Outside, the situation grows chaotic. The time freeze device's energy swirls wildly. The traitor dismisses Commander Root from duty and then releases a troll that can demolish humans in seconds. Now everyone inside must work together to survive the troll's onslaught. The battle begins with the troll crashing through doors with its head, causing Holly to get stuck on a chandelier, and Mulch, who tries to help Holly, ends up stuck as well. Mulch attempts to distract the troll but nearly fails, and Dom rescues him. Unfortunately, Dom is fatally injured in the process. With Officer Holly Short's magic disabled, she cannot help. Luckily, a sympathetic officer from the fairy forces decides to restore Holly's powers. Holly immediately uses her magic to heal Dom, bringing him back to life. Artemis, seeing Dom revived, is overjoyed, causing Dom to become emotional. Artemis attempts to use the Aculos to bring his father back, but only fairies can harness its power. With Holly now on his side, she decides to assist him. She succeeds, and Artemis Fowl Sr. returns home safely. Furious at the disappearance, Opal Cowboy rages, unaware that Artemis has another plan up his sleeve to deal with her. Thus, the film concludes, leaving audiences eagerly anticipating what comes next. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.